Hey my loves, welcome back. It's your girl Cooking with Tammy, of course. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious recipe that's going to impress at any cookout, guys. We're going to be making barbecue baked beans. Southern style barbecue baked beans with a twist of Cooking with Tammy, of course. So without further ado, let's what, guys? Let's get to cooking. Here's the ingredients for today's recipe. Let's run through our ingredients. We have light brown sugar along with Worcestershire sauce, apple cider vinegar, garlic powder, onion powder, ground black pepper, an array of bell peppers, both red, green, Vidalia, aka sweet onions. And for our meats, we're going to be using ground beef, of course, along with bacon, our favorite brand of sausage, barbecue sauce, mustard. Use any type of mustard. I'm going to be rocking with yellow mustard, and we have our beans on deck as well. As you can see, I decided to mix both beans because when you're cooking with Tammy, it's going to taste great regardless. All right, guys? And of course, my specialty, barbecue seasoning for even more amped up flavors. All right, first thing I want to do, guys, is slice our bacon. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the bacon, we could honestly fry this bacon up and then decide to crumble it after. But I figured, you know what? Let's just get in there, dice it up first, and then we wouldn't have to crumble it later. All right, we're going to add our diced bacon to the pan. We're going to allow that pan to come up to temperature, and we're going to brown our bacon. Of course, I think we should all know how to brown bacon at this point, right? So no need to keep the camera rolling, but nevertheless, I'm going to come back once our bacon is done, and we are going to put this delicious recipe together, and it's going to be the best Southern style barbecue baked beans that you've ever tasted. Let's cut our sausage up. I think I mentioned to you, right, that use your favorite brand of sausage. Doesn't matter if you want to use, let's say, maybe like a turkey sausage or even a chicken sausage, but just something that's going to be complimentary. Or even a smoked sausage would be really good. I'm just going to cut it in circles today. You definitely know I love to cut my sausage slanted. But we are going to cut it in perfect circles, I guess, if you want to call it that. Anyway, guys, let's check on our bacon. Right, our bacon is nowhere done yet, but it's almost halfway cooked through. What I'm going to do in the meanwhile is push our bacon to the side, make some room in this pan. All right, and I'm going to use some of the bacon drippings to fry the sausage. Our sausage and bacon, as you can see, is perfectly fried up. We're going to go ahead using a slotted spoon, remove both the bacon and the sausage from the pan. Allow any excess oil to drain off. We don't need all of that excess oil in our bodies, right? Just set it aside. And moving right along, as you can see, we have a pan full of grease and drippings. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple paper towels, get some of this excess grease out. Save at least maybe about a tablespoon, depending if you're using lean ground beef, which I am. We're going to chop this beef on up. We're going to cook it until it's no longer pink, red, or anything of that color. The pan is nice and hot, so it should take about 3 to 4 minutes to get this job done. Now that we have some brown ground meat going on, it's time for us to add our diced veggies. So we're going to go ahead and add our diced onions along with our diced bell peppers. Get it all in there. Once we're done, we're going to get a stirring apparatus. We're going to get a stirring spoon or a spatula or whatever. And we're just going to stir it on up. We're going to cook our veggies down until the bell peppers are slightly softened and the onions are nice and translucent. For another, I want to say about 3 to 4 minutes. Combine it really well. Once we're done, we're going to season up our meat. At this point in time, I'm going to use a little salt, ground black pepper, and garlic powder. Mix that one in as well. Make sure everything is perfectly and well combined. The reason why I'm adding salt to this recipe is because I did use low sodium bacon. However, if you're using regular sodium bacon, you could either omit the salt or basically use it at your discretion. I'm going to turn the stove top off, allow it to sit here for a second. If you are using, let's say, ground beef or any type of ground meat that has an excessive amount of oil, now would be the perfect time as well to drain it off. Using a large size bowl, let's add our beans. Scrape it out. Make sure you get everything out of this can, all right? We paid for it, all right? These things are expensive. We're going to add the second can, of course. In case I missed this part earlier, these are two 28-ounce cans. As you can see, I'm going to combine both of the beans together before adding our light brown sugar. Now, when it comes to adding the light brown sugar, however, you can substitute with using dark brown sugar. We're also going to add our Worcestershire sauce along with our apple cider vinegar. The Worcestershire sauce, because it has so many different ingredients in there, it's going to definitely bring out the element of flavor in our southern baked bean recipe. We're also going to add some mustard along with the barbecue sauce. To bring out the flavors even more, we're going to add our barbecue dry rub. Oh my goodness. This seasoning right here is everything. Not only does it have like a nice hint of sweet flavor going on, but we also have the savory and smoky flavor as well, which is going to be the perfect complement. So as you can see, yeah, I'm getting a little carried away and I'm adding a little extra, but it's going to be totally okay. It's just going to bring out the flavors even more. We're going to combine everything really well, mix it on in. Let's keep in mind that our brown sugar was granulated, and we want to make sure we don't have any sugar cubes sitting or lingering at the bottom of the bowl. So we're just going to take our time and mix everything together really, really well. We're definitely working with a good recipe. I can guarantee you the smell of the apple cider vinegar is starting to come through, not to mention the barbecue flavor and everything else. Wow, it's smelling really, really tasty. We're going to add not only our sausage, but our bacon as well, along with our ground meat. And as you can see, we're just going to fold all of the meat into these beans, guys. Look at how gorgeous. Make sure you mix it in really good because we want to make sure we get some of that meat at the bottom layer of the bowl as well. Let's add some butter to the casserole dish. I'm going to leave it just like this. I'm going to leave these little chunky bits of butter because when it starts to melt, it's going to, oh my goodness, it's going to have those little buttery pockets embedded all throughout the beans, and it's going to be so yummy and so tasty. So a little extra butter is, trust me, it's going to be okay. We're going to take our baked bean mixture and add it to this dish. As you can see, it looks like it's overflowing, but that's okay. Because what I am going to do is take an aluminum baking dish and place it on the bottom of this casserole dish. So of course, if there's any spillage, it's not going to cause any damage in the oven, so to speak. All right, this is going to go into our 350-degree Fahrenheit oven uncovered, and we're going to bake our beans for about 60 to 90 minutes. That's an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the fact that everybody's stove is a little different. However, I want you to check after like an hour, and if it needs to be baked a little bit more, allow it to bake for another additional 30 minutes. You want to bake your beans until they become a little bit more darker on top, but also a little bit more caramelized and nice and sticky. After about 90 minutes, look at our baked beans. They look absolutely gorgeous. Not to mention, you can see the caramelization that's going on. However, we're going to get in there with a spoon and we're going to turn it just like that. Yes. All of the caramelization took place on the top. And once you bring everything from the bottom, it's like pure beauty. Goodness gracious. This right here is everything, guys. I want you to give this recipe a try. And definitely let me know what you think. Look at all of this meaty, saucy goodness. We got the sausages. We got the bacon bits. Not to mention the ground beef. Oh my goodness. This is going to be everything. Of course, you know how to dish this out, guys. I don't even have to tell you. Put it on your hot dog, on your burger. Eat it as a side dish. And you'll be good to go. As always, I'm your girl cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely have all of the recipe ingredients and information below the video in the description bar. Catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.